We got two things we got to address before we wrap up today. We have not talked about Myles Garrett. Somehow, in an hour and 45 minutes, we actually have not mentioned Myles Garrett and his dominant performance yesterday. Jason, I want to start with you. What do you think was going through Myles' head when he took down Baker for that first time?
I talked to him a little bit after the game, and he didn't really.
I bet he wasn't thrilled with his performance.
He said, because I asked him, like, was Baker talking? He said, not really. Like, Baker wasn't really saying a whole lot out on the field. Now, Jadeveon Clowney said, yeah, he was talking. But I don't think that there was much interaction between Myles and Baker. We saw a little half hug at the coin toss between the two of them, but I don't think there was a lot of interaction between them.
Did you get the sense that Myles felt he played
I think he was happy.
up to his ability?
I didn't ask him that specifically.
I expected more of him. I really did. I know he had the back-to-back sacks, but if you take, and I know if we don't do that, he was great on those two plays, and that it helped them in the long run. But I just thought going up against a rookie tackle that he would be in the backfield all day long, and he really wasn't.
They were, from when I was like watching, like really watching.
He got a lot of help.
They were shifting a lot of the
that.
protections toward him, and that's when you saw Clowney sort of get loose on the other side with a couple of the batted passes and everything else. But I think they were really trying to help on Myles' side. And there were times that I thought it was great they put Clowney and Myles on the same side.
I like that too. Will we see more of that?
Blitz, I would think so.
I hope
worked.
so. It did work.
Then you had the safety blitz, and I think it was JJ3, right?
It was.
Got home from the other side.
Yeah, and I love that alignment because now teams, once they do it, no one's going to be surprised by it. But when they do it, even though they're not surprised, they're going to be they're handed it going, oh, Jesus, you got to be kidding me.
One thing real quick on the Kareem-Nick backfield, I think we're going to see a lot more of that.
I hope so.
And I was talking to a couple guys who said, like, hey, we don't have a fullback on the roster. Kareem's an absolute maniac when he's on the field.
Great blocker.
He has a sort of a fullback mentality. So I think you're going to see Kareem in that fullback role when they're on the field together, and the fact that there is no fullback on this roster.
We talked about this before, and I always go back to the USC national championship game against Texas when Pete Carroll tried to outthink everybody, and he had his Heisman Trophy winner standing next to him while he gives the ball to Lendale White. He tried to be the smartest guy in the room.
Right.
Another time, Pete Carroll tried to be the smartest guy in the room and got picked at the goal line, cost him a Super Bowl and a national championship. And I always bring those two out because there are times when it's just obvious what you do. Don't try to outthink everybody. When Stefanski was refusing to do that last year, even though he had a fullback on the roster, I just felt like there was a measure of that where he was like, I know what I'm doing here. I'm a coach. And he's clearly smarter than everybody. Fans think that we know. We don't know. He knows. But I just thought it was so ridiculous. And I said on the show Friday, I had an epiphany Wednesday, that Stefanski's going to get it. He's too smart not to get it again. And you saw in that moment that the defense is like a spotlit deer, and it just takes 1 second for that to happen. And we struggled mightily last year at the goal line. And all of a sudden, they got them both in there, and Hunt walks it. He falls, catches the ball falling down. I hope to God that it becomes a staple, particularly at the goal line.
I think it will. Especially, I was just going to say that, especially at the goal line. I think you're going to see, I don't know if I would call that the goal line package.
Right.
But I think you're going to see Kareem in that fullback role.
It gives defenses a handful to think about.
Yeah. To jump back to the Myles Garrett thing really quickly, I talked to somebody probably the day before. It's close to in Myles Garrett's camp, and they said Myles is he's focused. He's more focused than we've seen him. And he said, the person was talking about it, he was just saying that Myles is focused. He knows what's ahead of him. He knows he's going to have to carry the team. And sometimes when you can be too high up, a lot of people will follow that energy. And I thought Myles Garrett's energy was on point. I thought he could have been emotional. I thought he could have been out there hitting guys late. I thought he had an opportunity a few times.
No penalties, right?
No penalties.
Usually he's good for one jump.
At least jumping off sides.
And I thought Baker, knowing that,
and Baker
he was going to pull him off all day long.
Great at the hard snap, but I think what you saw was
control.
Is the way Myles Garrett affects the whole entire offensive game plan, right? So there was a lot of things. When Baker started going back, their adjustment was in the first half, they said, we can't do 5-step drops. There's no way. We got to at least do some draws, quick stuff with Christian McCaffrey, because there's no way we can block this guy. I thought it rubbed off on Jadeveon Clowney. I thought he set the tone with those two knockdown passes. A lot of guys inside. I think what they showed you was that if those two dudes in the defensive line get the pressure that they want, I think this could be a really, 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 really great defense.
Well, and to your point, I'll say this, that I thought Myles Garrett played extremely within himself yesterday.
Yeah.
He was under control.
Yeah.
Even his comments after the game, they asked him about Baker. He says, I don't have any problem with Baker as a football player. The other stuff we talked about last week, you know, going against the code of what the players go by, that's a whole nother thing. The thing that I missed with this, G, was this. I'm still looking for somebody to be the tone setter on the defense. Because when they started, because Carolina was coming in the fourth quarter.
Right. Yeah.
There was nobody to be like, no, this is not happening here.
Right.
There was nobody here. And usually, if I'm in my old day, it was the linebacker sitting out here like, this is not going down today. And
Yeah.
You wanted somebody to make a play.
I don't think it can be the DN, you know. At times, he doesn't have that personality, right? There's some maniac sitting out here trying to make sure that everybody is locked in here down the stretch here, because every possession is critical down the stretch here.
Particularly when they had stolen the momentum away.
Right.
I felt like, okay, the way you stop from losing right now is for somebody to step up and make a play.
Take that ball away.
And they didn't do that. That was the one thing that, you know, I thought they played great in the first quarter, even most of the first half. They just had the one blown coverage in the first half.
It's like when I watch Buffalo, it was Von Miller.
Yeah.
I'm making a
Clearly
play.
Von Miller.
Yeah.
For the
when you
Rams.
watch the Rams, it's clearly Aaron Donald.
It's Aaron Donald.
When you watch the Steelers, it's clearly T.J. Watt.
Somebody's making a play.
Speaking of, I know.
Speaking
I don't
of,
wish
A
illness
new
on or
report came
injury
out.
on anybody.
It's not confirmed that it's torn. They actually, from Jonathan Jones, I'll pull up the exact tweet, says there's optimism he may only miss a month.
Yeah, guys can play with it not being completely torn, but you know that it's in your mind, and you know that on any you get caught the wrong way
Right.
and you tear it, and
Yeah,
your season's over.
And and he's so good with his hands.
He's great with his hands.
Everything is
Yeah.
hands, upper body, and if anybody pulls him and he's moving,
Yeah.
And plus, you got to think: do you really want to go into next year with all that? A lot of premier players do not want to have something half torn.
I know, but if they take him out voluntarily and give him surgery, it almost seems like we're giving up on the season. He's their MVP.
Yeah.
He's their guy. And if he comes off the field voluntarily, it's one thing if it happens and it's torn, he's got to come out. But I think if you pull him out to have the surgery, same thing with Baker last year. He could have had the surgery after week 2. What would that have said to the fan base? In retrospect, would have been the move to make.
Right.
But the way it played out, we have the benefit of the results to say that. I don't know what they'll do with T.J. Watt. We're running out of time. There were a couple of other things that I really wanted to get to. It's not necessarily Browns-based, but there was so much that happened in week 1 that I'd love to go through this grab bag. Do you guys have a worst to first? A team that finished last year that you think has the best chance to finish first this year? I'll give you mine. I think it's the Ravens.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah, that's cheap.
I mean, is there anybody else?
No,
No, they look pretty good yesterday.
I was
hold
trying
on.
to think of all
I thought the
last place
Panthers.
teams.
I thought the Panthers. I don't think they're going to have a playoff season or a great season. They're going to win some games.
Yeah.
They're going to beat teams that aren't as talented as the Browns. They better fix that offensive line though, because that offensive line was absolutely. It was worse than I thought it was going to be, and I thought they were going to be bad.
I'll tell you this: they weren't in last place. I was quietly surprised with the Dolphins.
So that was so another team was biggest sleeper. I've got Miami as my biggest sleeper.
I tell you who played well yesterday in a loss. Detroit showed themselves.
They came back
Yep.
big time. A
Detroit
lot of
showed-
those were garbage points,
Detroit,
but
They played hard.
They didn't quit.
They didn't quit.
They
They
did
played
not
hard.
quit.
and that's Campbell had to be thrilled with the way they finished that game. Another one, a team that is going to take a step back. All the playoff teams last year, who's going to take the biggest step back,
Green
and
Bay.
also who's going to, from the non-playoffs, who's going to take the biggest step forward? You got Green
I
Bay.
say Green Bay.
Yeah.
They were horrible. I mean, this thing is
You got nobody to throw
This thing
to.
is a mess up there now.
Now, Aaron Rodgers did say after they started slowly last year, relax. But he can't relax this year because Devontae Adams isn't in that room.
I'm gonna go with the Rams. The Rams did not Stafford.
I'm gonna
did
buzz the
not look
week
good.
1 overreaction buzzer on that one.
that one.
Just because I think the Bills are that good.
Well,
I've got the Bills winning the Super Bowl.
I'll throw you another one. Cincinnati looked to
That
That's
was
my
my
team.
second one. That was
Right
my
here.
second one.
Right here.
That was my
Cincinnati.
second one. That was my
I was
second
just
one.
surprised at this, Jay.
The picks.
No.
This is the worst
you didn't
first
make
half.
Any, you didn't strengthen your line at all. He
No.
was running for his life
And that's
yesterday.
why I have
again.
Cincinnati.
This division is so tightly bunched. Cincinnati's a slam dunk, is taking a step back. Baltimore
Yeah.
jumping up. I think Tampa Bay could be in trouble.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think Tom Brady's got a lot going on right now.
You know, it's funny that you brought that up because if you follow the gossip sheets, it's not even gossip. I mean, he basically came out and confirmed it.
Did he?
He and Giselle are in trouble.
Wow, really?
Big time.
Was it the fact that
He came back. Yeah. That's what's driving it.
That
Now,
probably
all this was according to People Magazine,
Yeah.
but according to People Magazine, friends of the couple say that they're taking a break and they're not spending time together. She typically goes to road games. She did not go to the Dallas game last night. And this is the one thing that you know about Tom Brady is don't ever ask him to choose anything else over football.
Yeah.
Because he's been that way since he was 6.
Right.
That's all he loved. That's what he loves the most. And
Well,
I think I could see it on his face.
Yeah.
Even before the game started, I could just tell he's wearing something that's really, really heavy.
Yeah, I think Tampa's in trouble this year.
And so that I don't think that's if that's the case, and I've seen it before. It didn't start last year. She was tired of it. She was tired of it before.
I think when he came back for last year, it was against her wishes. She was, she didn't hide that, and he didn't either. But this time, I think that she thought she had him back for good, and it took about 6 weeks before he said, "No, I can't." And if you think about it, he should have had another ring last year.
Yeah, that's
he came within one play of having another ring last year. Because if they get to the Super Bowl,
Right.
I like the Bucs over the Bengals in that game. I mean, we'd never know, but I'm not going to ever bet against Tom Brady in a Super Bowl.
The problem now is you're asking him to pick her
Yes.
over something he loves.
And
that you would have.
And I would think that she would know him well enough not to make that ultimatum, because that's a big ultimatum. I mean, if someone loves something and it's the most important thing in their life, I would think that their spouse would understand that in any and all circumstances, and they would be supportive. And I'm not saying just
I don't know. I go the other way.
You do?
I do.
What?
Go home. What else do you have to accomplish?
But nothing. But he's still so good. Does he
in
want
it.
to 10 years from now have to answer the question, could I have won 8?
Do you want to lose your family over
The
it?
question
Is he going to, though?
I don't know.
The question is, as you get older, you learn different things here. You love what you love, right?
And
the
you can't
person
change
you want beside you gotta ride with that. Gotta
She
ride
has.
with that.
She has.
She has.
for
She's
all
been-
of these
she's
years.
been a trooper.
But it's not a part-time ride.
Brad, if I could tell you right now,
Yeah.
I have a magic wand and I can tap you with it, and it would allow you physically to go through the rigors of one more NBA season. You don't even have to think about it. You're going back.
I'll go do it.
And I think most people that
I'll
I
go
know
do it.
that played that game would do that.
Go do it.
Even financially, the guy's
It's not about the money.
he's got a job waiting for him where he's automatically going to be the highest paid person in that profession.
Here, I would tell you, Jordan would have played with no money.
Yeah, because he loved it that much.
This is what I love.
In life, you gotta. I choose purpose over people. Your purpose will put people in your life that's supposed to be there because they understand your purpose.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I just look at it differently. Go home. Go home.
Jason's like, screw that.
You have all the money you need. You have the career. You can't.
Jason,
there's nothing else you can do.
Could you
Go
imagine,
home and be
Jay?
a
Could you
dad.
imagine if he does win this year? And with the receivers that he has, Fournette looked good last night.
Jay, let me tell you
with
something.
the team that he has, he could win it.
hold on.
Could you imagine 8 Super Bowls?
Let me tell you something, Jay. You can still
I can't imagine
you can still
6
be a dad.
or
Yes, you
7.
can.
I can't imagine.
You can
I can't
still be
imagine
that.
1 McNuggets. I wanted 1 my whole life as a fan. I wanted to cheer for 1. Could you imagine a guy winning 8, 1 at 45, 2 different teams? You talk about there's very few GOAT arguments that are open and closed. I don't know any other GOAT argument that is this open and closed.
I think it's already closed. He doesn't need anything else.
I think it is, but he seals it forever. No one's ever going to come along and win 9 Super Bowls.
It is very clear. I go back to this. It's very clear. Football is what he loves. He loves football.
You got to do what you love.
He loves football.
McNuggets, you've been putting your head in the sky for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, what do you
Yeah,
got?
we got to wrap up last week's bets before we do final takes today.
Okay.
We did 10 prop bets on Friday. Let's take this, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These are the results. We have our top 2.
Yeah!
Bush
Woo!
and Jason both went 8 and 2 in the prop bets. Brad and Jay. Jay, you were right. I miscounted. Thank
I
you
know,
for
you
calling me
said
out
I
on
was
that.
5 and 5, and I went back and counted because I thought I got at
Nope,
least 6
you're right.
right.
You got 6, and I didn't sleep last night. I was so thinking about how the show. I texted you at 3:30 in the morning.
I
saying,
know, I got a
"You're
text
right."
from you literally. It was like
I'm
4 o'clock in
I'm
the morning.
only
I
two-
miscounted. Jay went 6 and 4. Let's go to the next one.
I'm only 2 games
Tyvis and
back.
Polk both went 5 and 5. Bull, I sent the original text. I miscounted his 2. That's how tired and all in my head
You
was.
had Bull at 3 and 7, or
3 and 7, but he actually did go 4 and 6. Remember,
Yeah.
he switched his pick on the
I
air.
do remember that. That's
so
what-
I did switch
Don't
that.
tell him
we
that
also
number.
had to pick a winner of a headline.
Yeah.
And we went back and forth in the production booth between Jay and G, and we turned out, let's take it, I think G had the best one.
Oh, wait a minute.
What a day! What
Wait a minute.
day!
Guys, I'm just going to say right now, show mine. They flat missed it.
We
And
don't
I'm
have
gonna
yours in the queue. We got to pull that
Wait,
up.
what was Baker when he was here? He choked in the 4th quarter. Did he choke yesterday in the fourth quarter? Guys, you got that wrong.
I didn't say.
I'm sorry, you got that wrong.
Listen, here, I'll
You
turn
don't
the
have my
camera.
headline?
It doesn't say
Here's my
choke.
headline.
What's your headline
Here's
say?
my headline. Running start.
Okay. Well, go ahead. What you say?
Okay, did they not run to victory yesterday?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
They ran to victory yesterday.
So here's why mine.
Baker was who we thought he was.
But here, you know why mine's is doper? Because if you look at the stat line for Baker Mayfield, 235 yards, 1 pick, 1 touchdown, playing against a backup quarterback at home. We thought you.
17 in the fourth quarter.
He did that.
They didn't lose because of Baker.
He did.
They did not lose because of Baker.
But
Guys, you got that wrong.
Did my
I
line?
don't know who
Voted? Did my line
It was
say?
a 3-person vote.
You guys are, I got to tell you, that's the biggest miss that you guys collectively have had. All your top fives and everything.
We'll put a YouTube poll up.
Please.
And
Put
we'll
it up.
get a
Put it up. Put it
vote.
up.
Anthony, can
That's
you throw
bro,
that?
that's terrible.
You can
Hey,
find,
we're going
That's
to the
terrible.
people.
You can find Jay's on Friday's show. We do have today's best.
He had 17 in the fourth quarter.
That's the way to come back. The first.
Hey, this is Jay's, by the way. It's on tag.
We actually are appealing this verdict, so I wouldn't put that on.
Here's Jay's.
What the hell? I got all of it right.
Hey.
Jason and Brad, would you like to be?
You want to give me that belt right now?
No.
What's happening?
Would you guys like to choose between?
I'm going with Jay. Sorry.
Lead.
G.
No. Lead.
Brad?
Hey, Tony says always lead with the lead. Baker Mayfield is the lead. And why would I put?
Why can't both be true? We ran to the win, and when I see Jay's G's tweet, I don't take it as a negative against Baker.
It's not
I haven't seen this.
You're right, and
I've
I
seen this
even
movie
said
again.
Baker did exactly what we thought he would do,
Right.
except when the game was on the line.
The only thing
When the game was on the line, Baker here always choked in that situation. Always. That's what he was known for.
I
He
thought-
couldn't get it done in the fourth quarter.
I thought he was known for just coming up short. That's
but he
my
didn't
thought
come up
process.
short yesterday.
It was on the Panthers. They came up short.
Yeah, no, but he didn't. To Jason, Jason
You can't
co-signed
separate
my
the
I've
two.
been as hard on Baker as Bull, but
They
I
did not
agree with
lose
you
that game
100%.
yesterday because of Baker Mayfield.
He didn't make any terrific throws, but he didn't lose them the game.
He didn't lose them the game.
He
And
did what was
so,
expected of him.
like,
He is who we thought he was.
See, here's how that headline would be right.
You see how they hit?
No.
They keep hitting.
Here's how your headline would have worked, okay? It's 21-17 Browns.
Okay.
Baker gets the ball,
Yep.
2 minutes to go, 80 yards.
Yep.
He drives him down. He gets them close. He's got a man in the end zone. He makes a bad read. Picked, game over. That's who Baker was here.
Right.
By the way, let me
We
ask
have
you.
the YouTube poll results.
Go
Would you
ahead.
like to know?
What was it, a 1 second poll?
We have 107 votes in a minute. We still got 1,600 people watching.
No, that's a record.
That is a record. We put up big numbers today.
Yeah, that's what I thought we would.
So we have over 100 votes.
Let's talk
Okay.
to it.
86% for G. Bush.
Well, now wait a minute. It is the YouTube universe.
The people have spoken.
Plus,
People chant, we
it
asked
was
the
an
people.
anti-Baker headline, so you know what the poll's going to show.
Always lead with the lead. Shout out to Tony. He taught me well. Shout out to him. I'm the tag team.
That's all. That's horrible.
People share.
You guys missed this so badly, and I'll tell you. Not that I don't.
And
respect,
I got orange shoes
I respect
on.
everybody's opinion, but I think it's pretty obvious. The person on this panel whose opinion I most trust is in the middle. Jason gets it right almost all the time.
Jason didn't have a vote on this one.
No, actually, Jason had the only vote that I care about.
Tag in, bro.
So anyway,
Tag
last
in, bro.
thing before
Tag
Monday
in, tag me
Monday
in.
Night Football
That was
tonight.
horrible, bro.
Let's unveil our new bet cards. Let's take 52s.
We had a poll up for 40 seconds. We got a winner. We got a winner. Dewey defeats
Still going.
Truman. Dewey defeats Truman.
If it gets
does it all
closer
the
by the end, we will
Democracy is at stake. Democracy is at stake.
They counting ballots over here. They're talking about some irregularities
That's
in
in
the
the
poll.
ballot box.
Irregularities in the poll.
Here's how this went. We're going to
rigged.
launch a poll. We
rigged.
talk 20 seconds, and the results are in.
Landslide.
The longer it goes, the more numbers are going for G. So I think you should have
Listen.
closed the poll.
Listen, in reality, I would never expect, because given the tone of those headlines, I'm surprised he didn't get 100%.
No, you got 14%.
I'm surprised it's not 100% because
Some people voted.
it's Baker hate. So that one's so easy. That's a slam dunk.
Actually, that's why it's so
Put
nuanced.
mine up again one more time. Put mine up again.
Run it back.
No, watch.
Run that back.
Watch here. I want you. See, you can't even argue about that.
I love it. I like that.
I think it's because it's the condensed picture. I think
No, I hate that picture, bro. First of all, they both look like they're 5'4".
That's
300 pounds. They look like bull. They look like bull.
They didn't even got no game footage for you, dog.
Well, you didn't either.
I know. All I need is Baker.
Congratulations. Your headline was okay,
Hey, man, I appreciate you,
but
dog.
he really wasn't who, I mean.
Hey,
We're
you
gonna
gonna
do
get
this
some
every
money,
Friday.
but
This
not
will be
today.
a Friday, Monday regular thing. So make sure you guys tune in. We're gonna take
I like that. I like to write the headline before the game.
Hey,
played.
Anthony, the real winner is Anthony. You guys did a tremendous job on that. I
Yeah.
love that. That's my favorite thing in the world.
Hey.
And the props. I like that, McNuggets.
Do we have an LW? We probably don't have a Lethal Weapon 3 yet, do we?
You know what? Actually, let's turn the camera. Anthony's working on it as we
Guys,
speak.
I'm telling you, that's going to stick.
That's going to hit.
Yeah.
Jason, am I right? You know what the media gets its teeth into.
Maybe.
And that's going to be on Fox Sports. That's going to be on CBS.
You gotta
I'll
keep saying
guarantee you, they are going to say in their pregame show within the next couple of weeks, Cleveland's got a new weapon, and he's known as Lethal Weapon 3.
Make sure y'all retweet that. Make sure we
the Ultimate
hashtag.
Cleveland Sports Show better take credit for that now.
Hold on. Then after the picture, you got to have at the bottom, hashtag Big Kick Energy.
Yeah.
We gonna keep that big kick. We gonna keep that big kick
Big
energy.
Kick Energy.
I think that's perfect. I do think that's perfect.
That's Paul's
Put
worthy.
that on there. Make sure that big
We
kick
gotta
energy
get
is
some
on
shirts
that,
made.
is on that movie poster.
Cleveland Clothing Company. We got to get some shirts made for
That
that.
big kick energy.
Cleveland Clothing Company, if you're watching, we're going to trademark it right now. It's called a poor man's trademark.
Right,
You can
it
either
is.
write it down and put it in an envelope and
He's
mail
fact.
it to yourself,
He's facts.
or you can say it on television.
And they stamp
And
the
the
time.
Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and who gave us that nickname?
Bobby C.
Bobby C. We are trademarking that right now. Lethal Weapon 3.
If Bobby C DMs me on Twitter, I'll send him a T-shirt.
Of course he's getting a T-shirt.
Come on, D.
It's like, you remember what after Phil Jackson came up with three-peat?
Oh, yeah.
Like, nobody ever heard that
Yeah,
before.
right.
And then all of a sudden, and he trademarked that sucker, and he's still getting paid off.
Wow.
He trademarked it. Three-peat.
Listen, Tegna. Y'all got all the lawyers up there. Y'all tell us what we can do all the time, don't y'all?
Trademark, poor man's trademark, Lethal Weapon 3.
Hashtag
Of course,
Big
I
Kick
wonder
Energy.
if the movie would actually,
Probably.
they probably already own that, don't they?
Probably. Yeah.
Spell it a
I got
different
ahead of
way.
myself.
Spell it a different way.
I
That's
just
how we get around it.
No, you know what? Instead of the E, make it a 3. So you're turning it. See what I did there? So instead of the E,
that's fine.
in lethal and weapon,
Yeah.
make them 3s.
Yeah.
Look, that's dope. I like that.
Hashtag
Lethal.
what?
Hashtag Big Kick Energy.
It's a fun Monday. I like Victory Mondays. In
By the
Cleveland.
way, if you arcade York, you gotta love all this.
Yeah.
You gotta love the Big Kick Energy.
It's coming.
You gotta love the Lethal Weapon 3.
coming
You
your
know
way.
what you know?
You gotta love that he's going into the Ring of Honor next week.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Hey,
Get there early.
you better come holler at us, dog. They stand under this umbrella, you might get rained on, bro. Hey, come on now over here now. You got to come on.
Yo, you got to come on the show. We hooking you up.
We got
you got to
to
come
come
on the
show
show.
up. Holler at your boy.
Cade, you have an open invitation to come on the show whenever you can.
We reached out this morning.
I'm sure the Browns were like, yeah, no.
I've not heard back.
Yeah, you won't.
Right.
You won't.
Hey, we're going to keep bugging
So
y'all.
much for access.
Jay, if there's any
Unbelievable.
consolation prize, Ray Gordon on Twitter says Jay's headline was the right one. So you
Listen,
got one guy on Twitter.
I only needed one person to tell me that I got it right. And not because he sided with me.
Oh, Jason.
Jason is the level-headed one on this panel.
Yes.
He really is.
He brings some sense.
He's the
He's wearing a
quiet
collar.
guy in the
Look what we're all
room.
wearing, and he's wearing a collar.
I know, but he's the
level-headed one.
quiet guy in the room that's just sitting back watching everybody embarrass themselves and waiting for a chance to make it
I'll
all.
just let y'all kill each other. And I'll
Makes
just
sense.
sit here and mop up
Like,
the blood.
I
when you're
literally
done.
wanted to start the show. I started the show by saying, enough with the division.
Right.
As soon as Paul gets a chance to talk, Paul's like, yeah, okay, that was cool and everything, but no. Like, I
tried
really
that.
thought he's not going to take a victory lap
y'all
tomorrow
all-
because he can't.
Right.
Like, he just can't.
He pulled up. Not
And
only
he's
did he pulled up,
he's
pulled up.
still trying to take a
And
victory
got his
lap.
victory lap, gave it up, and then left.
And then
what a mic drop.
after he dumped on me saying that York was the best pick of the draft
Right.
and will change this team's life moving forward, which
Right.
is exactly what I said. After taking a dump on me for that, he says, Kenny York, baby! Kenny York! Baker, you suck! You know what? That's the quietest that spot has ever been. Or will be.
Bulls.
Hey, we got 90 seconds real quick. How about the Guardians sweeping the Twins?
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
real
Jay.
quick, real quick.
They needed that.
Unbelievable. Biggest series of the year, and they came up with a sweep.
Hey, fill the park this week.
Yes, that's
Come
a
on.
great
That was going to be my final
hashtag
take.
fill the park.
Fill the park,
Yes,
you guys.
come on, let's go,
You're a
Cleveland.
First place team, 2.5 games up in the division. Huge stretch coming up,
Right.
9 games in 8 days.
And Albert
against-
Pujols is coming in,
Yeah.
chasing history.
So
They are,
let's fill the park this week.
currently with
Angels
it.
first, and then a huge series with the Twins.
And then the White
Sox are in there as
Yeah,
well.
let's go.
Playoffs end today, we'd be the 3rd seed.
Woo!
We
I
would
saw-
win the
I-
Central.
I-
but on the flip side, and this is what scares me, because the White Sox have scared me all season.
Yeah.
They're
They're
down
coming.
there and they're lurking and they're starting to get
They're
it together.
coming.
And now La Russa's not in that dugout. I'm afraid that the loser of the division, the second place team, will not get a wild card. I think
Right.
that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
So if you're the Guardians, you are all eggs in
We
on
all
the
in
idea
here.
that you've got to win the Central. I read a column this morning on, I think it was MLB.com, that said why the winner of the AL Central has a surprise playoff run in him. I'm telling you, Bieber's got 9 straight quality starts.
Yep.
He looked great again yesterday.
He's putting it back together.
He's Bieber again.
Yep.
He's Bieber again, and that gives us a chance. We're out of time. We're thinking of Bull. Bull get better. Hopefully he's back tomorrow. If not, we understand. 22-hour break. We'll talk more about the Browns' big win, and we'll start to peek ahead toward the Jets game. Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, thanking you for your patronage. We broke a record yesterday. We broke records today with viewership. See you tomorrow.